everybody, I'm back again with another vlog, and today I'm going to be walking some parts of downtown Manhattan. Probably going to make my way to Walter Street. Might not be special, but one cool thing is that you walk around there, you're going to see like a lot of financial buildings, a lot of tall buildings, and I'm a huge fan of tall skyscrapers, so I passed by many times, but I haven't walked like the full street. So I'm going to take you guys with me. We're going to walk around there, see what's happening around. We're going to pass under the Brooklyn Bridge, which most of the times people walk on top of it, but this time I'm going to walk under it and see the architecture happening around there. So join me. So I'm around the borderline of Chinatown, so I think if I go a block ahead is where I got to make myself a right turn to the street. Might be like St. James Street, but then it turns to Walter Street. You can see, you know, a couple of things happening around here. Residential buildings happening around here. There's a pizzeria around there. So I'm gonna cross ahead and then I'm gonna make my right turn. Here I am making my way to St. James Street. And one thing I've been noticing is that I've been walking around downtown and there's so many like bike availables, like city bikes availables. Like a lot of places you go, it's only like 1, 2, 3 things. Most of them are empty, but here, look, it's literally like full. Then over here, I know pretty much might not be special, but even when you walk around places in Manhattan in different corners, you're gonna find like a lot of hidden gems and stuff. Like a lot of people that are used to Midtown, the World Trade Center, you know, all the touristy stuff, but I think, you know, different parts of Manhattan makes it so unique. Like here you see like a residential, really tall building, you know. And then there's some beautiful architecture over here. This could be really perfect for an Instagram picture, you know. Like little, you know, when you want to take like different pictures but not touristy, this might be one over here. I'm giving you tips. Made a little detour over here because there are some pretty interesting, might not be a big deal, but some interesting architecture over here, like this building. All hidden over here. It's like in the street out of nowhere. Then you got like, you know, a regular residential building in New York City. But then I'm gonna make my way back to St. James and keep heading all the way to Walter Street. And then when you walk around here, it gives you a vibe like you're, I don't know, like in Moscow, Russia. Like the way how they got the buildings over here. Like the front patio with the tall buildings, the residential area. Also kind of resembles a little bit Co-op City in the Bronx, which is the biggest comparative city in the whole world. Which I made a video there like maybe a year and a half ago. But yeah, pretty interesting. Another cool thing about New York City is the way how they got the regular apartment buildings. In this case we got like the housing project, but then when you go on the first floor you can see they even got their own business, like smoke shops. There's even a fast food chain called Checkers. It's not pretty much around New York or in the States, but I'm surprised to see a Checkers over there. And then there's a supermarket over there, Seatown, which you got a couple of Seatown brands all over New York City, all over the boroughs. And then I like the way how they got a little bit of vegetation over here, you know, some trees and plants surrounded by the tall skyscrapers. And ahead of me is going to be the bottom of the Brooklyn Bridge. This is the first time that I walk around there. And then I think officially it turns into Water Street. And what you're seeing ahead of me, this bridge, is actually the beginning of the Brooklyn Bridge. And it's actually the first time I'm going to walk underneath it. You know, a lot of people, they go ahead. Too bad this thing cannot zoom, but you can see over there it is, the Brooklyn Bridge. And then if I turn over here, you see part of downtown, like all the high skyscrapers. But let me just cross the street. And like a minute, damn. Every vlog I make about New York City, there's always a horn or a siren sounding, you know. Like I say, in many of the videos I do about New York City, I'm always crossing a bridge. And now I'm crossing the iconic, well, I'm not even crossing, I'm just passing underneath the iconic Brooklyn Bridge. It's nice to see the structures, the way how it's developed under here. And then I think officially it starts like Water Street, and I can see how architecture changes. This is kind of like the borderline of Pearl Street, where Water Strery. And like I said before, I passed by the street many times because I go to one of my favorite areas in downtown, which is Seaport District. Like it's a pretty hidden gem all the way at the end of Fulton Street, with beautiful architecture and cobblestone streets. But yeah, now I'm gonna walk around here and I'm gonna start crossing like a ton of skyscrapers. And like I say, the reason why I pass the street is because I go all the way to Seaport District, and to my left side you can see it's actually Seaport District. A little small spot, but it's beautiful. Actually looks like it's a lighthouse. Then this is Fulton Street, goes all the way, you know, to World Trade Center. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of really tall skyscrapers. But I don't remember if I ever walked this whole entire street, but I think it makes it pretty interesting. And one thing I noticed is, not sure because of the pandemic, usually this would be like rush hour, but you can see it's not too many people around here, especially in the financial area where you can see like a lot of people getting ready to go home. But also I heard also like remote work is kind of taking over. That's why you don't see too much crowd around the streets and stuff. Some offices they're opening back, but other people they don't want to come back, you know, in person to do the work. So that might be also like another reason why you don't see too much activity in the streets. Like I say, it's literally like 5:30. And usually this would be like jam-packed with people, business people, but look, you see how empty the street looks like. It's pretty clean too. And it's crazy how we're surrounded by, you know, skyscrapers everywhere. Manhattan. And like I say, I like downtown better than Midtown. I don't know, it just feels like a little bit more relaxing than Midtown. Midtown is like a little bit more touristy for me, so. But yeah, pretty unique here. And I also like when it starts getting dark a little bit earlier, and the way how the buildings look like with the skyline, it makes it pretty interesting. I gotta say, ever since it's been like a year and a half, which I shouldn't be surprised, I'm still a little shocked to see the streets like, I don't know, like literally empty. It looks like it's Sunday. This is actually a Wednesday afternoon. Like I say, almost 2 years, and look, only a few people walking around here. Be like a 360 view of what's going on. You don't see too many people walking around here, so it's crazy. At some point it could be good because you have like the whole street or the whole city for yourself. Actually, I didn't notice there was a limousine driving right next to me. But yeah, and then they got like a beautiful plaza over here that takes you to another street, and you can see like different types of architecture. Crazy to see. I like how organized they do it, but a lot of garbage, cardboards, and you're usually gonna see it all over New York City. Doing my job too, you know, we put it during a certain time of the day in the sidewalk, and I guess in the nighttime, probably 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, they come and they pick it up. But I'm gonna walk more over here, and Walter Street will be over, and it's gonna make a curve to the other side of downtown. And you can see how the architecture changes over here. A little mixture of new ones where the old ones. And like I say, always like this area of New York, like the downtown, it kind of resembles a little bit of Boston, because I think it's similar. The buildings, the streets like pretty tight, and like they're not really like parallel with another street. But at the same time, I think it's the beauty about New York City, the diversity of the buildings and the streets. You can see how tall this building is, and then this brown building over there captures my attention because of the windows, pretty small. So you can see this street is pretty much more like a financial street. Business and stuff, you're not going to see really too many stores. It's mainly like big offices, big corporations where people come and work, but I guess because of remote work you don't see too much activity. Then like I said, the street makes a turn and it passes right in front of the Staten Island ferry terminal, which takes you right straight to Staten Island. We're gonna make a little turn. Gonna make a little turn over here because there's a plaza, but ahead of me is pretty interesting too. You see here this tall building with a little plaza for people to sit down, you know, have their snacks. And I'm not sure, but I think there is a 787, which is a Puerto Rican coffee shop not too far from somewhere around here, so I gotta Google where is the coffee shop. Oh, since they happen to be nearby, I'll stop by 787 Coffee, which is a Puerto Rican coffee shop. I made a vlog in the original one in 7th Avenue, 7th Street by the East Village a couple of years ago. but usually they grow the coffee in the farm in Maricao in Puerto Rico. So it's been a minute since I had some good Puerto Rican coffee, so I'm gonna take the first sip right here. Cheers. Oh yeah, really good coffee and pretty fresh, you know. And they're pretty popular to the point that they expanded all over New York City. So a lot of people, they come here for the coffee. Go with me with the coffee. I ordered something I haven't had in a long time, which is quesitos, which is pretty much like a pastry from Puerto Rico. This one's guava or guayaba. So really happy. I feel like I'm back home in PR, so I'm gonna take my first bite. Wow, this right here is heaven. Heaven is fresh, really fresh. I really feel like I'm back home in the evening when you want to have like a little snack and a coffee. So I'm so happy that they opened this coffee shops around here in New York City, especially down here by Water Street. This is Pearl Street right here. So I'm gonna chill for a little bit, finish up my coffee, and then finish the walk and wrap up the video. So I pretty much walked the whole thing on Water Street, and what a better way to end it up with a amazing Puerto Rican coffee. Probably the best coffee around, or the best coffee in the world. That was the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all and peace.